talking about the conundrum of saving versus paying off a mortgage, here's a question that addresses that exactly. I recently purchased my first home. Should I reduce my contributions to pay back the mortgage faster, or continue to keep my contributions high enough to receive the maximum employer contribution?
Yes, and it's one of the most common questions I get into I write a column in the Weekend Herald, a Q&A column, and a heck of a lot of the questions boil down to pay down the mortgage versus invest elsewhere, often in KiwiSaver. And I tend to think usually it's best to pay down the mortgage. The comparison you should be making is between the interest rate that you're paying on your mortgage and the money, the return you get on your investment. But, this is a big but, KiwiSaver and UniSaver get you extra money coming in from the government and your employer, and because of that, it beats paying extra off the mortgage. I mean, obviously you've got to pay the basics off the mortgage, but the whatever the loan amount is that you but then should you pay extra off the mortgage or put it into KiwiSaver or UniSaver? And the answer is put it into Kiwi and Uni, because that extra money coming in from elsewhere makes it impossible to beat really as an investment. Having said that, I would put as much as it takes to get the maximum extra from someone else, i.e. KiwiSaver it's 3%, UniSaver it's 5, isn't it? Yes.
To get the maximum
from the employer, which is 6.75%, right? So you want to be putting, if you've got any extra money, put enough into UniSaver to get that 6.75%. But then beyond that, you're saying, should I put extra into UniSaver, or should I put it into paying down the mortgage? Or people sometimes say, should I put it into shares, etc. And basically, as far as that third option goes, you can be in shares through Kiwi and UniSaver anyway, and so you don't necessarily need to branch out into other types of investments except for the access.
Right.
But getting back to the comparison between paying down the mortgage and investing elsewhere, the way you need to look at that is the interest you pay on the mortgage, the interest rate you pay on the mortgage versus the return you're going to get in the investment. And the mortgage interest rates have they've plunged to a very low level a few years back, remember, down about 2%, and then they soared again up to over 7%. I mean, it's been an incredibly bumpy ride, and when you're paying off a mortgage faster, so you're putting extra over and above what the bank requires in, it's like you're making an investment that gives you the same return as the interest rate. Now that might sound a bit confusing, but back when the interest rate on the mortgages was 2%, if you paid extra off your mortgage, that's like getting 2% on an investment. So getting rid of debt that costs you 2% is the same as making an investment that gives you 2%.
And that's after tax and
that's the thing. It's after fees and taxes. And so 2% after fees and taxes is still not bad, but I must say, when those mortgage interest rates were that low, it was kind of debatable. People were saying, well, really? I think I can do better elsewhere. And that was hard to debate, and so in my column we had sort of a bit of to and froing on that. But now that mortgage interest rates have gone back up to quite a lot higher, and they're currently dropping, but I don't think anyone much expects them to get down anywhere near. There was kind of extreme stuff going on the last few years with COVID, etc. I don't think anyone, so generally speaking, it's better to, with the extra money over and above getting the maximum out of Uni and Kiwi, is to pay extra off the mortgage. There's another advantage to that too, and that is that if you're paying extra off your mortgage and then something goes wrong in the future, like you suddenly find you've got very expensive repairs on your roof of your house, or sometimes it's a family member gets a health problem and Pharmac doesn't cover the drugs, or I mean, there's all kinds of things that happen that people don't predict, and so, or you lose your job, and suddenly you've got a bit of a financial crisis on your hands. And if you've been paying extra off your mortgage, then the mortgage lenders, I'm told, are much more willing to give you a mortgage holiday and let you pay no payments perhaps for a very short time, or interest only, or extend the term of the mortgage, or in one way or another they make it your mortgage
might
easier.
Be in a stronger position to negotiate a way through a...
If you go in and say, hey, look, I was paying $100 extra a week off my mortgage back then.
Sure.
I kind of need a bit of leeway now. That's not to say that the mortgage lender won't do that for you anyway, even if you haven't paid extra off the mortgage, but they might. But it strengthens your argument, so it gives you a kind of security in the future. So all in all, to summarise, I think you be in Kiwi and uni, or just uni, to get the maximum out of the employer, and in the meantime you're getting the maximum from the government automatically coming through as well. And then beyond that, I would say get extra off that mortgage as much as you can. Yeah.
This person's obviously looking ahead and goes on to ask, if I was to change jobs, should I withdraw the unlocked portion of my contributions to UniSaver to pay down the mortgage faster?
Yeah, no, that's an interesting question, because at that point, so you're leaving the university, you can get access to the unlocked section of your savings, and that money is no longer getting boosted by money coming in from the employer or the government. It's just dollar for dollar sitting there. And at that point, I would say it is quite a good idea, if you've got a mortgage, to use that money to pay down the mortgage. It's really good. It's a wonderful feeling when you've finished paying. Have you finished paying off your mortgage, Michael? Or
Just.
Have you?
Just,
yes, not fabulous.
Yeah.
It happened to me for quite a while ago. It's a fantastic feeling, getting rid of rid of the mortgage, psychologically as well as financially.
Absolutely.